Everybody, my name is William Huffman. I am a real estate agent in the state of Minnesota. I'm also a coach with Glover U, and I'm here with the Davonte Moore, who I have the pleasure of working with weekly here. So today we're going to talk about what Davonte is absolutely just fantastic at, and that is lead conversion and calling. And I would say we're getting better at lead follow-up, right?
Right.
You know, we all have we all have areas of opportunity,
Yep.
but I really want to just dive into what you're doing right now, what's working for you, because I know you're succeeding at a high level. Before we do that, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So first things first, thanks for having me, Coach. I've been learning a ton from you this past year. I've also been getting
My
my
pleasure.
butt kicked too. So, but it's helpful. Yeah.
Yes,
So,
sir.
great thing you're doing. So a little bit about me. I've been in real estate for about 8 years. Real estate was essentially my first job right out of college. It's been a long journey. My first 1 to 2 years, I probably only sold about a total of like 6 houses. Then
Okay.
from there, I joined Jeff's team here in Detroit, Michigan. And then from there, I went from 18 deals to 31 deals to 40 plus deals a year, pretty much consistently from that point. So
Wow.
that's a little bit
Okay.
about me. Accounting background, if you're into personality styles, I'm more of the analytical
Yeah.
personality
Oh,
style. Too,
yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I
You're a C
overanalyze
off the
everything.
charts. Yes, you
Yep,
do,
yep,
my man. I love it. I love it.
yep.
Cool. All right. Well, awesome. So you've been with the Glover agency for about 6 years now. And did you start off as the traditional ISA type role that they have there?
Yep. So I started off as an ISA. It was a 6-month program where pretty much all we did was call expireds and for sale by
Hmm.
owners for the entire day.
Okay.
Uh, Got paid a couple $1,000 a month, but the more important thing was learning the foundation of the business, which was
Yeah.
prospecting, which pretty
Yeah.
much set me up for success for the rest. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And if you're watching this right now and you're like, I'm not a prospector, I'm not this and I'm not that, I'm gonna stick with what Jeff says. No stinking thinking here. So I promise you this next 30 to 40 minutes here, you're gonna pick up something from this cat that is you're gonna be able to implement right away and really affect on how you prospect, whether it be cold calling, circle prospecting, door knocking, whatever it is. Today, we're going to really focus, though, on the calling side of things because you and I have the same belief that that's a great way to have the most contacts per hour and the more
Sure.
contacts, so forth, and stuff like
Yep.
that. So walk me through your day. Like, what time do you get up in the morning? Like, what does your routine kind of look like in the morning before you get to the office?
So pretty strict routine in the morning. Pretty much Monday through Friday, sometimes Saturday. Pretty much wake up every day at 5 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, hit the gym for about an hour. I've been working on bulking up.
Yeah,
If
that's
I don't hit the
ridiculous.
gym, if I don't hit the gym, I'm doing around like 70 sit-ups every morning.
Okay.
Just to get the blood flowing, just
Yeah.
to wake up, knock the sluggish off.
Yeah.
From there, just taking a shower, getting ready. On the way to the office, I'm normally listening to like the Glover U podcast or something motivational, or
Hmm.
if it's lead follow up, maybe something in the inner circle or Glover U inner circle about lead follow up, whatever the case
Yeah.
is, like whatever skill I'm
Yeah.
working on, I'll listen to that in the car, or just pure
Yeah.
silence on the way to
Yep.
the office. Just
All
to clear
about
my
that.
head. Yeah,
All about
No
that.
music
And
in the morning.
yeah,
No music in the morning.
I'm with you on that one. That's kind of funny that you mentioned that. So what I'm hearing is you get up consistently. 5 a.m. doesn't have to be for everybody. I'm a 4:55 a.m. guy. It took me years to get there, right?
Yep.
But I hear just some physical activity, and then you're just getting your brain ready. And that doesn't necessarily include music. Same thing for me. Music doesn't get me. I stare at the wall in the morning, like
Yep.
legitimately meditate, center myself, whatever you want to call it. That's what I'm doing in the morning. So,
Yeah. I
cool.
try to meditate, but I fall asleep every time. So I fall back to sleep in the morning. So.
That's awesome. Okay. So what time we get into the office? And you guys have an accountability call in the morning, correct? Right?
Correct. So every day I'm in the office at 7:30 in the morning. That's
Okay.
usually 90% of the time. I mean, of
Okay.
course, sometimes you got traffic. I hit the snooze button too
Mhm.
many times, but normally right at 7:30 a.m. I'm in the
Okay.
office, and then we have a call right at 7:32 a.m. where we report our contacts, appointment set, appointment going on, and any contract signed for the day with Jeff.
Did you say at 7:32?
At 7:32 a.m. Yeah.
All right. There's some inside jokes there. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, and we're going to talk about your routine a little bit. Then I want to really get into like some skills and maybe even some role
Okay.
playing to really kind of talk about that. So that call goes from 7:32 until when?
So 7:32 to about 7:40 a.m.
Okay.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's pretty quick.
Yep. It's pretty quick. Yep. Every associate on our team's on it, and they just run through the numbers, and then we're done for the day.
Okay, cool. And then at 7:40 until you start calling at 8, what's going on in your head? What are you doing there?
So at 7:40 a.m., I'm usually role playing or going over the numbers that I'll be calling for the day. So if I know I have a role play call the night before, I'll usually have my numbers prepared for that morning the night before. So I'm not scrambling in the morning to figure out who I'm calling for the day. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And then are you using a system for calling? What do you guys use, or what are you doing?
Yep. So we use Vulcan 7 and Redx for pulling all our prospecting numbers. Yeah.
Cool. And there's a bunch of other things out there like Land Voice. There's a lot of different dialers out there, but you do utilize a dialer and some data type system.
Yep. Use a single line dialer, and then Vulcan or Redx is information for homeowners.
All right, cool. Yep. I mean, I Davonte, you're killing me with that suit you got on, man. I'm over here in my Grayson hoodie, and you're just looking fresh. So that's awesome. And the reason I bring that up is because you feel comfortable in that, right? Like you are ready to rock and roll in that.
Yep. Yeah. If I don't have a suit on, I don't feel like me. So it's just kind of like my uniform. You know, everybody's got their own uniform. Some's polo, some's white t-shirt. Yeah. Everything works. It's just whatever you're comfortable with. You know.
Love that. And in my drawer right back here, I have a full outfit change. So if I land an appointment, like 100%, I got shoes, belt, everything right there. So when I'm not client facing, I'm very comfortable in this, but I love that. Yeah. So cool.
Quick thing on why I wear a suit every day. So when I first became an OSA, outside sales associate with our team, Jeff couldn't go on an appointment one day for whatever reason. I think he had some meeting that he double booked. He was looking around the office for like an agent who was going on an appointment. And I was the only one with a suit. And I was, pretty much brand new, and there were other people, but the appointment was in like 20 minutes. So I got the listing, and then that client turned to like 4 sales in the future. So
get out. I
always wanted to stay ready. So I was like to stay ready. So
love that. That's awesome. Yeah. All right. So we've talked about your morning routine. We've kind of talked about, your style. I love it. Now let's really dive into it. Like, let's talk about what are your calling goals for the day. So when you sit down, what is your intention? What are your goals? What are you looking to accomplish before noon?
So before noon, my goal is 25 contacts, 1 appointment set. So my goal every day is to set an appointment. I talk to a lot of agents sometimes. I'm like, what's your goal for the day for appointment set? They said they don't know. So you always got to have an appointment set so that you're calling for something. You're calling with a purpose.
Yep. Awesome. And those 25 contacts, are you getting them strictly from canceled, expired, FSBOs? Like, what are you calling personally in the morning?
Personally in the morning, 80% is probably all expired contacts. And then the remaining 5 to 10 is usually buyer leads. Talking to those people.
Okay. So in your guys' ocean or pond or whatever you guys call it, you have a pool of people that have entered into your system that are just kind of in limbo there.
Correct. Yeah, like Zillow leads, Realtor.com, internet, just all your internet type stuff. Yep. Yeah, awesome.
Cool. So let's talk about the afternoon a little bit. What are you doing in the afternoon?
Okay, perfect. So afternoon, 12 to 1, usually lunch, talking to agents every now and then in the office, catching up on stuff. Kind of like a mindset break between like 12 and 1. 1 to about 3, I'm usually doing some sort of administrative work, preparing for appointments, or I'll hit the buyer leads again during this time if I don't have anything going on. Or just studying the market. So 1 to 3, I just like to look at it as like my administrator time.
Okay.
And then if I can squeeze some prospecting in during that time, I will. Then from 3 o'clock, I usually shut down around like 6 o'clock every day. But from 3 to 6 is either additional prospecting or normally on appointments. So that's listing appointment, buyer appointment, or out doing showings. Or just popping up on my past clients. So between like 3 to 6 p.m. So my goal in the afternoon is always to be in front of somebody.
Okay. And then where are you doing your follow-up? We haven't really talked about that yet. Do you have time in the morning for that, or is that part of your administrative, or when is that?
So with hot leads, I keep them in front of me all the time. So people who are looking to do something within like the next 30 days, normally that 11:30 to 12 o'clock time frame, I will hit the lead follow-up, or after my appointments, normally around like 6 o'clock, I'll hit them again. Like I'll try to hit them first thing in the morning and then later afternoon.
Okay, cool. So a couple times a day you're hitting them,
If they're hot lead and they're making a decision this week and I know it, I'm pretty much calling them 4 to 5 times that day. Yeah.
How many times?
At least like 4 to 5 times. Like if they gave me indication that they're going to be picking an agent at some point, or like an agent referral type situation. Like I'm calling that lead, 4 to 5 times that first day,
Okay,
just to make sure I get a hold of them.
4 to 5 times in one day.
Correct.
Isn't that excessive?
I don't think so, because somebody else is doing it too. So they don't. I don't even think prospects realize you're calling them so much, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't even think they know it. So
no, they really don't. So I love that. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now I really want to talk about your calling and what you're hearing right now. I want to get into the meat and potatoes. I want to talk about objections that you're hearing. I want to hear what you're saying, how you're handling that, how you're still getting your 25 contacts and your one appointment. So what are you hearing right now?
Yep. So right now it's a lot of fear in the market from prospects on the seller side. A lot of them have the logic that they want to wait till interest rates come down so they can get more for the house. Like a lot of them are starting to say they don't think it's a good time to sell. You're getting the holiday objections that we want to wait till after Thanksgiving, wait till after Christmas, starting the new year. And kind of the same thing with the buyers. Like they want the rates to come down. It's kind of like the rates are driving a lot of fear in the market with consumers. So that's really the biggest challenge right now. And also even keeping deals together to a certain point. Because things are so much more expensive, and then the media is putting all this fear into the economy that we're looming recession and all that type of stuff too. So tougher keeping things together too, I would say.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So we're hearing some common objections, and my team's hearing that. I'm hearing that as well. And now everything we're going to talk about here going forward are going to be tactics and skills on how to find the root cause of these fears, to find the motivation, and not force or trick anybody to do anything, but to really help them understand what's going on right now. And if it's best for them to wait, we want them to wait, right? If we really feel that this is not the time for them, we want them to wait. Some people think that this can seem like it's a sleazy, slimy sales tactic. Absolutely not. One thing that I always tell my team is we have to truly believe that we're going to be the best person to take care of them. But until we get the appointment, we can't prove that to them. So once we get the appointments, that's where we can really show them, listen, we care. That's why we're so good at this. We care so dang much, but we can't show that to them until we get in front of them. It's really hard to do that over the phone. So just keep that in mind, everybody that's watching. Oh, I'm not that type of person. Well, are you really good at your job? Yes. Do you truly believe that you can take care of them and help them get to the next chapter of their life? Yes, then you should be listening and you should be taking some notes on what we're going to talk about here.
Sure.
Cool. All right. So let's get into it. So what are you saying to somebody who says, you know what, Davonte, I'm just going to wait until these rates come down. This is just, it's everywhere. The sky is falling. There's an election. There's recession. Let's just start with the rates. What are we going to say? Hey, Davonte, the rate's ridiculous. I have to wait.
Great. So the moment I hear someone say that, first, I'm trying to identify their motivation first and foremost. Okay. So I say, okay, great, William. I can definitely understand that rates are pretty high right now, and I can understand your concern on and why you actually want to, wait. That's very justifiable. And I'm curious, William, what has you want to buy a home anyway?
Okay, awesome. So I want to break that down, what you did there, because there's several parts of what you just did, and then we'll go right back to it. You validated what I said. Yep. You said, I can totally understand that. Makes sense to me, and you just kind of dismissed it and you going, why did I want to buy a home anyways? Yep. All right. Now I'll go back into this. Well, Davonte, I'm honestly I just want something of my own. I've been renting my entire life. I'm 43 now. I am 43. I'm 43 now. And it's just time that I buy a house and I just want to be an adult. Okay.
Gotcha. And where are you thinking about moving to?
I'm thinking about, honestly, anywhere that I can afford right now, because like I said, I'm just not finding anything that I'm looking online, and it just all seems like it's out of my price range. So I don't really care where. I just, by my work would be cool. I don't want to drive more than 40 minutes, I guess.
Okay. Perfect. That makes sense. And William, it could be a great time for you right now, and we wouldn't know until we even, get you in front of a lender to explore your options. William, let me ask you, what's more important, the amount you pay per month for the property, or how much you pay for the house?
I guess both would be kind of important to me. I don't want to overspend, and I don't want to be like house poor. I want to be able to still go out and do stuff. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, that definitely makes sense. And William, the thing is, when rates come down, what that's going to do is actually increase buyer demand. May I explain why that won't be a benefit to you?
Why that won't be a benefit to me?
Yeah, why that won't
Yeah.
be a benefit to you.
Yeah, because I thought if rates would come down, it'd be better for me.
Right, right, absolutely. And a lot of people are just like you right now, just kind of waiting on the fence. And as soon as those rates drop a
Hmm.
percent or two, prices are
Hmm.
going to go through the roof, and you actually may end up paying more later than you actually would today. Because William, the thing is, if you get locked in at a 7% interest rate now, when rates
Hmm.
do come down in the next year or two, we don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. You can always
Right.
refinance later and get that lower payment. If that's a possibility for you, would you have 10 to 15 minutes to talk to a lender about your options?
Oh, did you just try and close me, Davonte?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I want to talk
Yeah.
about that because you did a lot of things there. You used education.
Yeah.
You used what could happen. And one thing that we use a very similar script as you, and we just say, hey, it's better to secure the asset now, depending upon who you're talking to, right? It's better to secure
Yeah.
that asset now
I like that.
versus waiting until you get into a situation where it's just going to happen. The demand is still there.
Yep.
But you can't explain away my fears, but you can ask me questions and get me to a place that is of more understanding, and I'm coming from a place of curiosity.
Yeah, true.
All right. Absolutely love that. So what are you saying? So one thing that I want to add to this whole interest rates things is, Davonte, why don't you give me the objection of I'm going to wait till interest rates come back down?
William, we do want to, sell our house, but, we do want to rate. We're a buyer lead? Buyer?
I don't care. You
Okay,
can be a
cool,
seller.
cool.
I don't care. Whatever you want.
Okay, William, well, I don't want to buy until, rates are back around, the 6% range.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that, Davonte, and that makes total sense to me. And honestly, if I was in your position, I would probably do the same thing. With that in mind, let me ask you one question. If the rates don't come down for 2 more years, are you comfortable staying where you are right now?
Well, I mean, the rates, they should come down though, right? I mean,
I
it's
would I
election
would
year
hope
coming
so.
up, so.
I would hope so, right? I
Yeah.
you know, I'm not necessarily an optimist, but I'm not a pessimist. And I just want to know, how long do you want to sit on the sidelines?
Well, I don't want to keep renting. I mean, maybe we'll give it another, 2 to 3 months just to see what the rates do. But
Okay.
I can't stay here for another 2 years.
Okay. I just want to ask because maybe they come down in a year, maybe they come down in 2 years, maybe they don't, maybe the whole housing market falls apart, right? We
Yep,
just never
yep.
really know what's going to happen. But I just want to make sure that you're comfortable where you are for up to 2 years, because a lot of the leading indicators that we follow as real estate professionals and the other people who are much smarter than me that I listen to are saying we could be in this cycle for another 16 to 24 months. So I just want to make sure that if you are comfortable where you are, it should be for the next 2 years.
Okay. Well, I can't see us really waiting 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I like that because it kind of,
Yeah.
it brings them to reality. It narrows their motivation down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, we don't want to wait 2 years.
Yeah.
So,
and that's
yeah.
where I'm going to say I don't want to wait 2 years. Excellent. Let's do this. Let's get some time on the books. Let's get 15, 20 minutes face to face. Let's shake hands, make sure we like each other, and we can come up with a plan that can be either from 3 months all the way up to 2 years. So what does next Thursday look like around 6 o'clock to swing by the office?
That works for me. Next Thursday, 6
Yeah.
o'clock works for me.
Yeah. So Davonte, I got to ask you something. What is the goal of any conversation we have?
The goal of any conversation you have is to get an appointment, face to face or over the phone. Primarily,
Absolutely.
preferably face to face though. But the goal of every
Yeah.
conversation with the prospect is to set an appointment, nothing else.
Yeah. Face to face, it's always the best. And there's a
Yep.
lot of ways you can do this. Like you said, hey, let me get you to a lender. I'm much more of the, hey, let's belly up face to face. I can bring you a coffee type person.
Yep.
Either of those options work perfectly because you have a lender partner like, and trust. So do I. So whatever it is, to get them just taking that first step.
Right.
And really tying it back to the motivation. So now let's talk about somebody who's let's talk to somebody who is a seller. I'm going to be a seller, Davonte, and I'm an expired. And let's just role play an expired, and I'm going to be a real jerk. I just want you to know that. All right.
All right.
So call me up. Ring ring.
Ring ring. I'm looking for. Hello. Whoa, went too fast. I normally say ring ring, so it threw me off.
All right, go ahead. You ring me then. Yeah.
Ring ring.
Hello.
Yes, hello. I'm looking for William.
Yeah, yeah. What can I help you with?
Hi, William. This is Davonte with Glover Agency. The reason for my call is twofold. One, to be sure you know your home is no longer listed for sale, and two, to see what your plans are for the property.
I gotta tell you, I'm really sick of you guys calling me, and of course, I know it's no longer on the market. So, what can I do for you?
Yeah, I got you, William, and I'll be frustrated too. I mean, how many calls have you gotten so far this morning about the property?
I mean, like 9 or 10.
Wow, wow, 9 or 10. So only 10 or 12 of us are working today. That's crazy. William, just curious, if you had received an offer, acceptable offer last week, would you have still sold the property?
Yeah, absolutely. I would have sold it last week.
Okay, perfect. And that's exactly why I gave you a call this morning. I want to set aside 10 to 15 minutes when we can get together and we can show you what went wrong with your property and what we can do correctly to get it sold this time. How does today at 5 work, or does tomorrow at 3 p.m. work better for you?
I honestly have no interest. Honestly, if I relist, I'm gonna go with the same guy I used before. It's just a shit show out there right now.
Right. Yeah. And it is a shit show right now. I mean, I completely agree. I mean, rates are kind of out of control.
Hmm.
Price reductions are, pretty rampant. So I completely understand. And just curious, well, I mean, if you had sold this home, where were you going to go next?
We were just gonna move up north a little bit. Just, retired, just gonna get out of the city. But I gotta ask you, why does that matter?
I mean, I'm just curious. I mean, we work with a lot of buyers and sellers here in Michigan. We may have your next property for you. And from what you're saying, it sounds like you still are going to make that move up north at some point. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. Just I don't know if we'll wait till after the election, springtime. I'm just not sure yet.
Okay, so still trying to figure out the timeline. And I'm looking
Hmm.
here on the, in our MLS system. It says you're on the market for 180 days. When
Hmm.
do you plan on being up north?
Well, honestly, I wanted to be up there, 180 days ago, but you know,
Okay.
it's just not in the cards.
Okay, gotcha. Just not in the cards right now. And that's exactly why I gave you a call, because I know you probably see that prices are starting to come down on properties, and I'm sure it's your goal to net the most money for your home, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Davonte, do you have a buyer? Like, I know you're a nice guy and all, but I just don't
Yeah.
know where this is going. Like, what's going on
Yeah.
here? Like, if you have a buyer, let's talk. If not, I'm good with who I have.
That's a great question. And when this is my first time actually seeing the property today, I would love to accomplish two things. One, I would like to come check out your house to see if it's a fit for any of our clients or any of the buyers that we may have in our company. And two, I just want to, set aside 10 minutes just to let you know what we can do differently to get your property sold. Could you set aside 10 minutes for yourself today around 5, or would tomorrow around 3 be better for you?
I mean, why can't you just tell me now? You got me on the phone, you know?
That's a great question, Wayman. I mean, it looks like you have a very, special property, unique property here. I can't just tell you something without seeing the property. Does that make sense?
I mean, I guess I can answer any questions you have.
Right, right, absolutely. And to protect your time and to make sure I'm giving you the correct advice, all I need to do is do a quick walkthrough, like I said, so I can see if it's a fit for any of my clients. And two, I can let you know what we're doing differently. And worst case, if you don't like what we have to say, you can kick us out. Fair enough?
I mean, yeah, I guess, but I'm gonna let you know right now, I'm not dropping the price.
Right, right, absolutely. And I don't want you to drop the price. And the thing is, what I want to do is just show you what our marketing plan is doing to get sellers like yourself sold in this, crazy changing market. Fair enough?
Fair enough. I'll give in. That was like 7 or 8, 9 times you had to
Yeah.
close me
Okay.
there. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. And honestly, if you can get somebody on the phone that long, that's honestly what it's going to sound like, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Sure.
you're going to keep hearing these, like somebody's going to they want to be nice, but they don't really want to talk to you. You got to keep asking. You got to keep, 15 minutes is too long. Give me 10 minutes. You know what? You can kick me out.
Yeah.
You keep stepping it down. You just want to get face to face.
Yeah. Just get face to face. Yeah.
All right. Do you want to hit me with one? Want me to go?
Yeah. We can go. We can go. Let's do it.
All right. I'll call you. I'll call you. All right. Ring ring.
Hello.
Hey, Davonte, William here with Remax. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. Let's back this up. Don't be nice to me.
I'm
Okay?
not. I'm not.
Oh,
I'm tricking you. I'm tricking
shit.
you to make it.
Okay.
I'm tricking. I'm tricking you to
Okay.
make you think it's gonna be easy.
All right. All right. Hey, man. Davonte, the reason for my call today is twofold. One, to let you know that your property is no longer on the market. And two, to see, had the home sold, what were you planning on doing?
My house is not on the market anymore. It should be.
Unfortunately, it just popped up in my system this morning as what we call an expired listing. That means your contract with your previous agent has expired and you're now what I call a free agent. So had the home sold, where were you going?
Well, you know what, William, can I give you a call back? I got to call my agent so he can put it back on the market.
No, absolutely. You can call me back in just a few minutes here. But while I have you, I just want to ask you a couple questions because the home didn't sell. Had the home sold, where were you going?
We were going to go down to Florida, but I'm not sure why that's really important right now.
You know what? I totally understand. And if I were you, I'd be asking the same questions. And the reason it's important is because I'll get right to the point, Davonte, is what I do is I specialize in actually helping people sell their homes. Is that something you sound like you'd be interested in doing, actually selling your home?
Yeah, we definitely still want to sell it. I mean, I'm surprised it's not even on the market right now. I wanted this house sold like yesterday.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. And like had the home sold, you were going to Florida. So what's the reason you were heading to Florida?
Job transfer.
Oh, awesome. And what type of job are you do down there?
I'm an accountant.
Accountant? Right on.
Yeah.
Hey,
William,
must be a smart
can I
cookie.
take your contact info down and give you a call back once it's back on the market?
Oh, you won't have to do that because I'll bring it to your house when I swing by tonight. Because honestly, Davonte, what I want to do is I'd love to take 10, 15 minutes of your time tonight, put eyes on your property, and see how I can help you actually get to Florida and start that new job down there. How does that sound?
I mean, it sounds good. I mean, but what are you going to do differently than what's currently being done?
Fantastic question. So let me ask you this. What's one thing that your agent did that you liked?
I mean, I guess they put it on, they took some pretty good pictures. I mean, and they had a good, description about the property.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not sure. What do you do?
Yeah, no, those are two very important things. And we do that also at a very high level. And you know what? I'm going to cover everything I do here in a second. I just want to ask you a few more questions. What's the one thing that you wish your agent would have done?
I think they could have probably did an open house or two. I mean, I saw our neighbors at an open house earlier this summer, and it was like 20, 30 people at their house. But my agent pretty much said like open houses, don't get property. So we didn't do one.
Yeah.
We found this house at an open house. So it's something we definitely want it done. Do you do open houses?
You know what? I can talk for hours on open houses, and I'm going to give you a quick snippet. The short answer is yes. And we do that at an extremely high level because of people like you who walk into a house and don't necessarily want to bug somebody. They don't want to bug their agent. So we hold open houses at an extremely high level. All right. So open houses, that's something I can definitely help you with. And how do you think the marketing went for your property?
I mean, I think it was just online. I mean, I'm not, the realtor, he's a really good friend of mine. So I think, he just kind of put it online. I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, my friend, he was willing to do it for around 5%. I mean, is that something you can match?
Yeah. And how much did you pay him of that 5%?
Well, we didn't pay him anything.
Okay. Yeah. And the reason I ask that is because, my fees range anywhere between 6 and 10%, depending upon how much the property needs and what needs to be done to the property. And that's one of the first things we can talk about when I come to your house tomorrow around 6. How does that sound?
I mean, it sounds good, but I mean, it's no point of coming out if you can't do it for at least 5%.
Yeah, you know what? I totally understand that. Here's the thing. When I come out and we chit chat, if you don't like what I have to say, we can shake hands and part as friends. But don't you think you owe it to yourself to get another opinion on the property?
I think so. I mean, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, awesome. So I'll see you tomorrow at 6.
See you tomorrow at 6. Sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you. Cool. So, I mean, you came at me with everything.
Yep.
You came at me. So what did you see that I was doing that you liked and vice? Because there's a lot of things that you did that I really liked. Why don't you go first?
Yep. So you're very good at conversation, like the fillers. So the fillers between answering the question, which is amazing. You always approve what I said. You were never argumentative. You always use the word and, you didn't use the word but. So you never made me feel wrong about anything I said. It was just like a positive conversation. Like I hear agents a lot when they're talking to expireds, it's like a fight on why they're the best and why we're number one and all that stuff. But that doesn't really always work. You know what I mean? Because nobody cares. No, the prospect doesn't
Nobody gives a crap about me until I get to them and I can show them how much I care about them.
True. Like everything you asked was about me. Like it wasn't, you said nothing about your track record or anything like that, which was perfect.
Yeah, you kept asking me, what am I going to do? And absolutely, I can totally tell you about that. I just have a few more questions because I need to learn more about you. That's the whole goal of the conversation. I need to learn more about the person I'm talking to on the other end of the phone. Because guess what? You might cancel the appointment, but I do have a lot of motivation. I know you're an accountant. I know you're moving to Florida. I know you like open houses. You actually bought it at an open house. So if you go to so when I go to pre-qualify this appointment, I can use that to tie back down the motivation. I can use that to tie us back to the emotion we had during the conversation, how I was making you feel heard. I was like, hey, don't you deserve it to yourself to have a second opinion? And you're going to be like, oh yeah, that's going to come back to you. So having all that information and putting that in your CRM, so when you call them back to do the pre-qualify script, it's so incredibly important.
True. And I like how you actually told your commission straight up. Like a lot of agents will try to hide their commission, but you laid it out right there, because it's easier to handle that objection right then and there than in person, versus losing it at the table over the commission. So
and give a range, because legitimately, here's the thing, especially with a lot of stuff that's going on in the world right now, when they're talking about commissions, your business is your business. And whatever you decide to charge, as long as you're providing that amount of value, that's good for you. So I don't shy away from the commission question. I charge between 6 and 10%. You know what? Is 10% ridiculous? Absolutely. But guess what? When we get to the number that I actually decide to work with, it sounds good.
Yeah, true.
Cool. So I have a bunch of notes here. I just want to hear how you're feeling about the market in general right now.
So the market is definitely tougher, but I feel like it's going to make me a better agent. So it's no more of people just calling you out of nowhere to help buy or sell a house. Like now you actually have to get back in the trenches and, go for it. Like it's not about making reels, pointing at stuff on the screen, or, doing silly dances and voiceover. Like, you rarely see that stuff anymore now, which is actually kind of funny. So now it's more so like, it's back to the basics. It's all about getting face-to-face with prospects, whether that's expired, whether that's open houses, whether that's door knocking, calling buyer leads, calling your database. It's like, and I love it, because that's how it was when I started. Like you had to work for it. It's not just going to fall in your lap anymore, like it has been the last year and a half. So
and we were just talking about this, the social media side of things, because I'm a huge fan of social media as well. Like if you guys look me up online, like I am everywhere on the Facebook, and I'm a firm believer in that as a pillar of your business. But it's after your phone calls. You know, it's not one or the other. It's one, then the other. And we had a really good discussion about that just earlier this week.
Yep, true. Yep. So the thing is, you still do your prospecting, and then you handle your marketing side of the business. But the prospecting has to happen. Like that's non-negotiable. And then you do everything
love that word.
To grow your business.
Love that. It's absolutely non-negotiable.
You got to do the social media stuff now, because just this past week alone, I picked up close to 4 clients just from Instagram. So
hashtag Detroit agent, right?
Yeah, hashtag Detroit Realtor.
Detroit Realtor.
Detroit Realtor. So, and that's how I've been finding a lot of clients, because what they do, people who are relocating, they're on Instagram typing Detroit Realtor, and then my stuff is popping up because I post so much under that hashtag.
But because of that, like I don't want people to all of a sudden just hear this part of this conversation, like, oh, that's all I have to do. No, it's you've been posting for a long time. You have actual proof in your reviews and your sales and all the stuff that you've done. You've built a library of success behind you. So now when somebody finds you on Instagram, you're also Googleable, which is a word, and they can see the success that you've had, right? So you're using the marketing side of things to bring it in. But because you've done the X's and O's for so long, you have that proof of this is why I'm such a badass, and this is why you should work with me.
And a lot of new agents, they come in, they just want to do strictly social media. But the thing is, with social media, you don't have credibility yet. Like, you can post all this stuff, but if you have no sales, no reviews, the consumers don't find you credible. So it's kind of like, that's why the prospecting piece has to come first, so that you can get the sales and then do the social media stuff after. I mean, we say it all the time around here. We say you got to be social media.
100%. 100%. And you have to be consistent before you can become creative.
I love that. True.
You have to be consistent, become creative. All right. So I don't know if I want to, so recently in the last 3-4 weeks here, we've implemented something here in our team, and I want to bounce this off you, and I want to kind of hear what you have to say about it. Because somebody who's just starting off, they might not be able to do 25 contacts like you are, right? Because
Okay.
you have a massive skill set, right? Like I would say
Correct.
you're an 8 or a 9 right now when it comes to your prospecting easily.
Okay. Okay.
And now say if somebody's like a 4, 5, or 6, but they still want to get their contacts, this is what we've implemented here. And this is to help build your skill set. Obviously, you should be role playing and skill practice. We could talk about that for hours, but I mean, you can join prospecting boot camp or something like that, right?
Yeah, I took prospecting boot camp. Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. So have I.
Recommend.
So have I. Absolutely.
Highly recommend. Justin
Yeah,
he does a great job.
We should get a paycheck for this. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So what we've implemented here, and this is what I'm telling some of my other clients and some newer agents to do, is 25 contacts a day and then 50 on Fridays. Now, people may be like, oh my gosh, I can't do 25 contacts a day. So what I want them to do is in the morning when they're doing their cold calling, circle prospecting, whatever form of outbound reaches it is, not follow-up, say if they get 9, 10, 11, 12 contacts, right? Because their skill set's not as good as yours and they can't keep people on the phone and so on and so forth. Or people just aren't answering, or maybe they have a market where there's not a bunch of expireds.
Right.
The goal after lunch then is to get to 25 contacts by using social media, text messages, and DMs through social media, not emails. And then so phone calls, DMs, or text messages. Okay. So let's say, say Davonte, say you got 10 contacts cold calling this morning. Now you owe yourself 15 more. What you can do is you can reach out to anybody in your social media world or in your phone that you haven't talked to in at least 90 days and send them a text or a direct message to have a conversation with them.
Okay.
So therefore, they can get to their 25 contacts a day. Now, do you think if somebody was only getting 9 contacts a day, but now they're getting 25, would they have more or less opportunities for business?
They have more opportunities now with 25.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at here. There it is. It's a numbers game. So that's what we're doing with everybody in our team and agents I'm talking to, where Monday through Thursday, they have to get 25 contacts. Now, they have to try and get it from 2 or 3 hours of prospecting in the morning, and then they can fill it with DMs or text messages or phone calls to past client, sphere of influence, or anybody else. So it's been very good. And then 50 on Fridays. So 50s, you got to hit it hard. So it's 150 contacts. Yeah, 150 contacts.
That's real work right there.
Yes, it is. Even if they're in your phone, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, like,
that's a lot of work.
Yep.
So when I'm laying this out to you, what are your thoughts about it? Like, I know I'm just kind of throwing this at you.
I love it because the prospect in the morning, you should be doing that regardless. But I like how you open it up to social media, texting your database, because it's so much money in that. It's like we forget our database and just want to run after the new stuff for whatever reason. Like, it's the weirdest thing ever. When I first started in real estate, I took it was like some KW course called like Bold or something like that. And they made us call our database in the class. And it was like, I'm drenching in sweat, but like I got a lead from it. Like, you know what I mean? And I was brand new, like a week into real estate. So like, it's so much money in your database. So you're telling them the right way. And a lot of times these people are scared to reach out to us. Like, they may think we don't want to work with them, or that we only work luxury, or that we only work with investors. So you touching them is going to make them use you as your realtor when that time comes. So that's perfect. Like, that for them. And it's easy. Like, it's low impact. You're not calling them. You're texting. So
it is. Yeah. You're just like, hey, you were on my mind. How you doing? We haven't talked in forever. What's going on, buddy? You know, like me, I would probably throw a curse word in there if I'm texting somebody I haven't talked to in a while, because that's who I am, right? So it needs to be whatever it is. So if you just text somebody, say, hey, I was scrolling through my phone. We haven't talked in forever. How the heck you doing? Who's going to be upset about that? And I don't want you to talk about real estate. I just want you to have a contact and just have a conversation with them.
Yeah, that's like with the text message, like, most people want to text anyway nowadays. So like, let's go. Like, they're going to remember you, and then make sure you're adding all these people on social media too in your phone book, because then they see you sold a house, or they see you're at a conference, or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, it solidifies you as, you know, the realtor of choice. So.
Yeah. So there's another, we'll give me about 5-10 more minutes here, then we'll wrap it up. Cause I want to talk to, I want to throw some objections at you. And I just want to see how you handle it. And then I want you to throw the same objection back at me, and let's just try to come up with one-liners back and forth.
Okay, sweet.
All right, I'll go first. My credit's bad.
That's funny. That's funny. I was thinking like you were about to come like, will you reduce your commission or something?
No, no.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, that's a great question. And what's your definition of bad credit?
love it, love it. Say it to me.
William, I do want to buy a house, but my credit is horrible.
Oh, I completely understand that. And trust me, we've all been there before. With that in mind, what's stopping you from having a conversation to take the next step?
Good.
All right. Now you throw an objection out. Let's keep going.
Will you reduce your commission if you help me on the buy side?
Absolutely. All you have to do is pay me the difference in cash, and we can go ahead and take care of that. Now, with that in mind, when the house sells, where do you want to move?
Great.
That's 100% what I say when it comes to that. Just so you know, like
I like that.
I've said that hundreds of times.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Davonte, I absolutely think I'm going to use you. Would you give me a reduction on the commission of selling my house if you use me to buy as well, or if I use you to buy as well?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And wait, here's the thing. Let's take care of getting your property sold first. And then when we get to that obstacle, we can discuss a plan that's going to be fair for you, fair for me, and make sure you're a happy client and want to refer everyone to me. Fair enough?
Oh, love that. Love that. All right. Cool. All right. And I'm going to give you kind of a condition now, because there's a difference between a condition and an objection. And we didn't really talk about that earlier, but that's okay. Like a condition is something you can't solve right now. An objection is just we haven't answered all their questions. So I'm going to give you a condition. Davonte, I just have to wait until the kids graduate in May.
Okay, I got you. So when the kids graduate in May, where are you planning on moving to?
Love it. You just kept going with it. You just went to the next question.
Yeah,
there's a theme here, right?
My strategy is repeat and ask the next question. I rarely try to handle objections just because the prospect's trying to take you into the gutter, and I'm not trying to go into the gutter with them. So
love that. Yeah, that's so true. That's a theme that we've both kind of done the entire time. Just like, the pattern is you recognize, you appreciate, you move right on.
Yep.
Because every question we get, every objection we get is just a smokescreen because they don't necessarily know, like, and trust us yet. They have, like, we're just some dude on the end of the phone trying to weasel our way into their house.
Yep. Because sometimes they're just making stuff up. So, like, you don't want to fall into their trap. Like, they're trying to trick you into getting you off the phone, like you said.
Yeah. Hey, Davonte, I'm at work right now. Can you call me back?
Absolutely. And real quick, if I could get you an acceptable offer from this home, William, are you still looking to sell it?
Oh, you just went right to the question. All right, ask me. I have such a different approach. Ask me.
William, I'm walking into a meeting right now. Can you call me back?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually in a meeting right now as well. That's kind of funny. With that in mind, when the home sells, where are you going?
Like I said, William, I'm running to a meeting. We're going to Ohio.
Oh, what brings you to Ohio? That's amazing.
We bought a bigger house in Ohio. Like I said, William, if you give me a call back later, I'm walking right into work right now.
Not a problem. Congratulations, man, on the house in Ohio there. And I hope you have a great time in your meeting. What I'd love to do is actually just swing by tonight at 4 o'clock. Can I pencil you in for that?
Yeah, sure. Just give me a call beforehand and, to confirm. So
see you at 4.
Yep. I love it.
see, like, I'm not going to, yes, I'm going to call you, right? But I'm going to call you, hey, I'm 15 minutes away. Just wanted to let you know that.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, no, that's bold.
Dude, I truly believe that I am the best person to help them.
Yep.
I really do. and like I said, if I can't get in front of them, I can't help them.
True.
And let's be honest, there's a reason there's such a failure rate in real estate is because not to any fault of their own, right? People genuinely typically get into this industry because they want to make an impact in somebody's life, whether it be their own or others. And that's beautiful. That's amazing. That is wonderful. Here's the thing. It's not that easy.
Yeah, true. Not easy at all.
No. And you got to be practicing these skills and you have to be comfortable with it. And a little bit about you, and you know this, Davonte. I worked at some place called True Green Lawn Care for eight
Yep, you talk
years.
about that. Yep.
And our main form of prospecting was cold calling. I would literally be calling the phone book in January in Minnesota trying to sell lawn care. And I did it to the tune of like $10,000 a week consistently.
Jeez.
And then as soon as it was somewhat above freezing, we'd be door knocking. So I've door knocked tens of thousands of doors. I've literally made hundreds of thousands of cold calls. And it's all about painting that picture on where they're going to be going next, finding their true motivation, really understanding who they are and what they're looking to get done, and showing them how you are the best solution in this time and place to get that accomplished.
True. I love it. That's so true. Like motivation, getting that is everything. Like I try not to even talk about the sales I've made or that our team does and stuff like that. Like I rarely bring it up. And once you make it about them, they know that you do a lot of deals. And like that's what's going to separate you from the competition. Because the competition, I'm number one and we're this and we're that and we're this and we're that. But the thing is to connect with them on a personal level. Like that's the difference maker in prospecting.
And absolutely. And we use the same opener. It's a script, like, right? Like with the lines of script, a majority of the questions we're asking are in that script. And if you're new, you just keep following the script, and it's going to get to one point at the bottom of the script that says, would you be interested in knowing how our team sold over the strategies that our team used to sell over 1,000 homes last year, right? That one is kind of what you're talking about. Like you don't talk about your sales, but if it gets to that point, you just have to wow them with something. And that one can be powerful. Like, listen, Davonte, I got to ask you one more time. Here it is. It sounds like you really want to sell. The home didn't sell. You want to get to XYZ. You want to make a lot of money, and you want to get this done as quick as possible, as fast as possible, with as little hassle as possible. Am I tracking on all that?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, that sounds right. Like I want this sold immediately, but I don't want to give it away.
Understand. With that in mind, can I come share with you and give you a second opinion on how our team has sold over 600 homes in the last few years and actually help you accomplish your goals? Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah, we'd be interested in, but we're not going to sign anything today. But we definitely want to hear you out on that.
Absolutely. I didn't even talk about a contract, did I?
No.
No, man. My man, I'm just trying to get to meet you. Here's the thing. We might not even like each other. I'm pretty sure you're a great guy and we're going to have fun and we're going to get to know each other. But worst case, we're shaking hands and part as friends. So I can see you tonight at 6 or tomorrow at 4.
Tomorrow 4 works.
Awesome. There you go. One more quick strategy before we get going from here, because we should wrap this up. So I want to respect your time. Okay. I know you have an appointment coming up, actually.
Got a new buyer appointment.
There it is. And this is like an elevated type of a closing tactic. I call it the takeaway. So Davonte, why don't you go ahead and give me an objection?
William, we like what you got to say. This is for a closing, right? Like you're trying to
closing for an
appointment or closing for an appointment or in person.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, we'll do it over the phone. So, I mean, William, we like what you got to say, but, we do want to give our realtor one more shot, at selling it before we, move on.
You know what, Davonte? I can hear you, and I respect that loyalty. And to be honest, what I have to say might not even be for you. But with that in mind, don't you think you deserve to hear it?
I mean, yeah, but I mean, we bought the house with the agent. He got us a really good deal on it. I mean, he's a nice guy. We golf together. We drink beers together. So, I mean, we do owe it to him to give him one more shot to sell it.
Yep. And I do believe you owe it to yourself to hear the opinion of somebody like myself who will give you the facts. And honestly, I'm not going to worry about your feelings because right now we're not friends. It'll be a lot easier to fire me and say no to me than it will be to your friend, correct?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's true. Because, we don't know each other.
Yeah. With that in mind, let me come on over and I'll bring some beer. What's your flavor?
I like Bud Light.
There you go. Bring it on over, man. So you see, I said what I have to say might not even be for you. It's the takeaway. It's like, listen, this might not even be for you. With that in mind, don't you owe it to yourself? So there's a lot of techniques we kind of covered here. But the one of the overwhelming themes is just keep asking questions.
Yep.
Don't stop.
Yep. That's all it is. That's all handle objection is, just internalizing your script, repeating what they say, and asking the next question. That's all it is. Like a lot of people want to complicate it and have all these intricate answers to a simple objection. Like just answer the question or repeat what they say and just ask your next question. You know what I mean?
Absolutely love it. Love it. Well, you and I could talk about this for hours. I mean, we've got a solid 40 plus minutes here. We've been chit-chatting. So I want to say thank you so much, sir. And if anybody has any questions, can they shoot you an email or a DM, or how would they find you?
So you can find me on Facebook at Davonte Moore or Instagram at Davonte _ Moore. You can call or text me anytime, 313-204-6806. Try not to do it between 8 and 12 o'clock. I'll be prospecting, but I'll get right back to you right after. But 313-204-6806. And I love the help. So, Coach, I just got one piece of advice too for everyone.
Yes, please bring it.
Thanks again for having me. If you're like a new agent listening to this or just getting the business, my first thing is find a mentor. If you're working for William, he's awesome. He's done it. You know, he sells a bajillion homes, so he knows what he's doing. Get in a good coaching program and just follow what they're telling you to do. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. The path is already laid for you. So that's how you become successful, just doing what successful people do. So it's that simple.
100%. Yeah. Just look at the people who've done it before you and just do what they did. Just copy them. 100%.
Yep. That's it.
That's it. Just copy what everybody else does and it works. I'm telling you.
Like,
it
I'm
really
a copycat.
does.
I copy everything.
Yeah.
So I'm still a couple things
awesome.
used today. So
I hope so. Every time we chat, you give me some new nugget. So I absolutely love it, brother. All right, my man.